Alright guys, it's your boy SicksentZ here. First of all, I wanted to welcome you all to the first edition of SickTips. I basically wanted to take some time and give you guys a little bit of insight, some how-tos, and some advice on how to be a better producer, DJ, or performer in whatever art medium you choose to enjoy. This particular episode, I guess we'll call it, is going to focus on DJing, specifically 5 things that I don't want to see out of new DJs in the field. Now, we've all had our time where we were new to this art, and it's a lot easier nowadays to step into this art form. And there's a lot of commonalities that I'm seeing happen when guys step behind the decks for the first time. So I just wanted to take a couple of minutes and give you 5 don'ts that you want to keep in mind if you're new to this DJing thing. Okay, so we're going to jump right into it. Is don't show up to your gig with one genre or style of music. Okay? Now, being able to read a crowd and adjust separates us as DJs from jukeboxes. If you go into a spot and you have nothing but heavy dubstep, for example, and you get a crowd that isn't into that shit, you've lost the crowd. And if you don't have any other music to back yourself up on, that's it. There's no turning around from that. There's no switching the vibe. You just have to deal with a set that goes on as long as you're scheduled with a bunch of people that aren't interested in the music. Having a wide variety of music allows you to get away with playing genres that people don't really like, because you can start the night by playing songs that they're really into and you gain their trust as a DJ. So if you've played reggae and New Jack Swing and old school hip hop or whatever for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and you've got a person in the crowd that really loves that genre of music, it's now embedded in their head that you guys like the same style of stuff. And even though they don't necessarily listen to dubstep, for example, they may want to check out your take on what dubstep songs are good, because they now correlate you with being a person that listens to the same type of music or has the same interest in music as they do. So number 1, do not show up to your gig with one genre of music. You're shooting yourself in the foot. Moving right on to the second, don't put every song that you have in your DJ library. Now, it seems kind of backwards if you think about it. Why would you want to limit your songs that you have with you? Well, in this case, limitations can actually help. Just because a song is good and great or even a classic doesn't mean it's dance floor appropriate. And you're wasting space in your DJ software by packing it with songs that you're never ever going to play. Now, in doing so, you make browsing your collection way harder, and something that you're going to learn as you gig more and more is that you mix a lot quicker when you're in public and when you're doing it for a party than you would in your bedroom. So every single second that you waste going through a cluttered collection of music is a waste of your time, and you could be spending that working on your mix, reading the crowd, doing one of the 15 other things that we have to juggle on stage while perfecting our set. So use iTunes to store all of the music that you have, but make sure in your DJ software it's only songs that you feel like you'll play. And be good about it. Prune your collection. If you've gone through, the same set of songs and you haven't played this song in 6-7 months, maybe it's time to take it out of Tractor or Serato or Virtual DJ for a while and see if it's something that you really need in your kit. The third don't for new DJs on the scene is don't assume you have to play the speed up game. I'm going to explain briefly what the speed up game is. You've seen it a million times. You start at the tempo, and then the next song is one that's a little faster, and then there's one that's a little faster, a little faster, a little faster, and throughout the night you just kind of ramp your way up. And in doing so, you take out a very important element of being a DJ, and that's setting pace and setting surprise and suspense. You have to kind of compare music selection to sex. A young lady is going to enjoy a rough quickie without question, but she's always going to really, really appreciate a long session where the tempo and the speed and the pace goes up and down. You build suspense. It's very, very important to jump around in tempos. You can't just ascend or descend throughout the night. It's too obvious. It's too plain. You really, really want to switch it up and keep your crowd interested, because that's what separates you from just mixing records and really dictating a story on that dance floor. Number 4, do not play music you don't know well. It's extremely easy to get a song nowadays. It takes 10 seconds and you can have a track, a minute or two and you can have an album. And as a result, guys are showing up to their gigs with a collection of music that they don't really know. You'll have a song that you heard for 30 seconds in your Hulk Share preview that you downloaded, and then the next time you heard it is when you're on stage playing it. And with the advent of beat syncing and tagging and BPM tagging, it's okay to get away with mixing really quick back and forth and not knowing that record well. It's gonna beat match for you, and it'll do the hard work for you. So you can probably get away with just mixing record A to record B and being technically sound. But you can always tell when a DJ knows his records. And knowing a song front to back allows you to be a lot more clever in how you mix that song. If I know there's a key vocal phrasing or break coming in on a record that I can do something fun around, I can mix according to that. But if I don't know this song, if I just got it 3 hours ago and threw it in the track there and then just played it out, at most I can play it and hope that I can blend the song in and out, and that's that. You can't set a theme and a mood. You can't really set people out for an experience and a ride as opposed to a party if you don't know the records that you're playing. And the last one is really brief, but really important to all of us. And it's don't take a gig you're not suited for. You don't have to go and buy records anymore. And as a result, you can pick up an entire funk library or a disco library or blues library or whatever in an hour with a decent torrent search. So you have guys that are eager to play, and we all want to get out there and have fun and showcase our talent, because that's what we do. You have guys that are eager to play, and they see a gig for a top 40 night or a funk night or whatever night, and they only play minimal techno. They only play the Chicago house. They don't know the shit that they're playing, but they think I can download this stuff and I'll get by. And you're doing the community a huge injustice when you do things like that. You're preventing specialist DJs in that genre from getting the gigs that they've earned and they deserve. You're also not allowing the crowd to get the best experience of the night, because they now have to be led musically by someone that doesn't even really know the music. It's kind of the blind leading the blind in a lot of ways. So as much as you want to perform and you want to get out there, if there's a genre that's really not your speed, try to avoid it. Find a gig that's better for you. Make a gig that's better for you. Find a bar or venue that has an open night that you can curate to your taste. But don't take a quality gig from somebody that knows their shit because you want it. It's just not right. And if the night doesn't go off well, the promoter or the venue owner will then look at that night and say, hey, funk doesn't work here, or disco doesn't work here. When in fact it might, and it just wasn't curated by the right person.